Coming up on First at 5, storms are firing up across north central Florida right now. The UF weather team is tracking the rain and how soon will dry out.
Plus, another day of searching for victims washed away in Texas's massive floods, and the new help pouring in to find them.
Leave the prairie alone. Let the animals have their habitat, please.
And a big job ahead of a new county board when it comes to controversial development plans near Payne's Prairie. First at 5 starts now.
First at 5. From the University of Florida's College of Journalism and Communications, you're watching WUFT News.
Thunder and lightning have been keeping us on our toes all day long. Welcome to First at 5. I'm Corzo.
And I'm Pulver. Thunderstorms are lighting up north central Florida skies and dumping heavy rains. Let's head over to our live DOT camera to take a look at how the skies are looking. Traffic in Payne's Prairie is moving slowly despite the dark skies and storms brewing. UF forecaster Aiden Wacksman joins us live in the studio, tracking the storms and what we can expect for the rest of the week.
Sierra, what started off as a small cluster of storms became a pretty big blob of them. It's moving a little bit to the east right now, and this cluster of storms it's weakened a little bit less of those lightning strikes on the lightning counter, but still some pretty heavy rains being dumped by this unit of storms here, moving just very, very slowly to the east. Some of us in Bradford County getting some really heavy rains, and a lot of lightning still associated with this storm right now. The rain should taper off around the 8 o'clock hour, could see some more storms, but by 10 o'clock, most of those should be dissipated. Coming up, I'll let you know just how much rain you can expect for the rest of the week.
In central Texas, the search for the missing has not stopped. Manpower and machinery from across the country has converged in the area.
Workers and elected officials insist they won't stop until everyone has been found, and they urge residents to remain cautious. Jay Gray is on the ground in Kerrville, Texas with the latest.
Good evening, and for the 6th straight day now, search and recovery teams are working through the damage and debris after catastrophic flooding here in the Texas Hill Country. Areas like this along the Guadalupe River where you see the trees are snapped or pulled from their roots, they are down, and this is the kind of things those crews are facing. And for the 6th straight day here, the death toll is growing. More than 115 lost, more than 170 missing. First responders working around the clock, refusing days off, vowing to continue until everyone is found.
The will that comes from empathy. I don't want to ever be in a situation where my child is gone from me and I can't put his body to rest.
As the search effort continues and the difficult cleanup and recovery now begins, there is growing frustration and anger over what some here say was a lack of warnings before the storm and a slow and ineffective response as the water started to rise. Residents demanding accountability and a timeline from local officials.
I believe those questions need to be answered to the family of the missed loved ones, to the public. I can't tell you in a week or two, okay? We're going to get them. I'm not trying to deflect them, okay? My primary, I asked you, I've been in this business 36 years. I don't know if any of y'all or how many of y'all have gave notifications, death notifications. I've done them. What is worse, a death notification or telling somebody I don't know where your loved one was? That's my priority.
There is also some frustration about the fact that there was no warning system here, no sirens. In Comfort, which is not far from where we're standing right now, there were warning sirens and no one perished in the flooding there. The governor of the state, Greg Abbott, says that the state, pay for a warning system after this tragedy and could have it in as early as next year. That's the latest right now from here in Kirk County. I'm Jay Gray, NBC News.
Members of Gainesville Fire Rescue are among the team heading to Texas to help with search and recovery efforts. We told you about the Marion County team heading there Tuesday. The team of 20 firefighters specialize in urban, wilderness, and flood-related search and rescue. This isn't the first time Task Force 8 has been utilized outside their counties, as the force has a commitment to sharing its disaster response capabilities. Texas hopes the joint efforts will aid in the recovery of hundreds of missing victims. Gainesville Regional Utilities has received one of the highest grades given from Moody's. The financial services company uses a scale to assess a company's debts, creditworthiness, and other financial obligations. According to a GRU press release, Moody's rated the utility company an AA3 bond rating. The release says this affirms their stable financial footing. But Moody's also pointed out their higher electricity rates compared to the state average. The GRU Authority Board reduced the general fund transfer, a percentage of GRU profits paid to the city, from $15 million to $8.5 million. They say they applied the savings to paying down debt. GRU say their debt has dropped from $1.8 to $1.7 billion. They say they remain on target to reduce about $400 million in debt over the next decade.
Potential housing developments could threaten a popular state park just outside of Gainesville. WUFT's Jessica Wilkinson is live in the newsroom to tell us why Alachua County leaders are discussing paving parts of Paynes Prairie.
Last night, the Alachua County Commission appointed members to the Agricultural Land Conservation Board. One of their top assignments is a hot-button issue within the community: development near Paynes Prairie. This is raising concerns about the state park's ecosystem.
We have a saying that once in concrete, it'll never go back to agriculture. So we have to always be careful about what we develop.
City leaders say Alachua County has lost 46% of its agricultural land to development since 1950. Newly appointed Agricultural Land Conservation Board member John Nix wants people to think about where they develop.
We're growing. Our county is growing. We can't stop people and as our nation, but we need to make sure that we do it in a manner that we take into account our soil and water and make sure that that's foremost the most important thing that we look at.
Some park goers are concerned because Paynes Prairie, which has been around for more than 5 decades, may be up for consideration.
The more population that comes in means more cars, more chances of hitting these poor creatures. Like, they need places to go. They need their own habitat. We need to preserve what they have. We can't keep impeding on their land. So we need to just stop building on their property.
People from all across the state come to Paynes Prairie, but a few years down the line, this area could be paved over.
Members of the ALCB, which was established back in May, say their mission is to provide technical support, education, and funding for projects across Alachua County. Meanwhile, residents can still enjoy the nature trails and wildlife the park has to offer.
The board will issue properties like this one and will continue to recommend properties to acquire to the County Commission. Live in the newsroom, Jessica Wilkinson, WUFT News.
Levy County Sheriff's Agricultural Crimes Unit is assisting in an unsolved animal cruelty case in the Manatee Farms area. A mare was shot with birdshot and injured. The owner called for help from the Ag Unit and the Horse Protection Association of Florida to take her for treatment. The mare unfortunately lost her eye as a result and is moving to a new location to monitor her progress. No suspects have been named, and Levy County is asking for the public's assistance to solve the case. If you have any information, call the Levy County Sheriff's Department.
As of midnight, all 911 systems have been restored and are fully operational. The outage of the 911 emergency call system was caused by the cutting of a fiber optic cable in the Claremont area. All counties affected Tuesday throughout Central Florida are now able to call emergency services when needed. Remember, the text to 911 service is an option available as well.
Coming up after the break, many people have been affected by state funding cuts.
And some of those people are right here in Gainesville. More next on how the arts have been impacted.
You're watching WUFT-TV News.
Governor Ron DeSantis vetoed billions from this year's state budget, and that includes nearly $500,000 to help renovate a local dance studio.
But the studio's leaders say this wasn't their only source of funding, and they plan to forge on with their work to continue bringing the arts to North Central Florida.
All of them supported it, from Democrat to Republican, from Yvonne Hinson to Stan McLean. They all supported it and voted for it and wanted it. However, for whatever reason, DeSantis vetoed it.
$475,000. That's what Gainesville's Dance Alive National Ballet Center requested in this year's state budget. But Governor Ron DeSantis pulled out his veto pen and denied the funding.
We were disappointed. We were looking forward to that money. We needed the money. It was definitely going to go towards the building for the facility.
The plan was to use the funds for new dance and music studios, an art gallery, and a black box theater. Timothy Cannon, the center's executive director, says they will continue to press on with the upgrades despite the governor's veto.
You accept these things and you move on. We have other avenues that we're approaching, other people that, we rely a lot on our community through individual donations. We get great support from our corporations within Gainesville and Alachua County.
Cannon says plans are to start building their new studio next month. The center's founder, Kim Tuttle, wants the community to know how important the arts are and that this setback won't stop them from performing when the lights are the brightest.
The arts are at the heart and soul of every human being.
Tuttle says they have about $4 million and they need about $2 million more to ensure that they can move forward with all of their new building plans.
Showers and thunderstorms are starting to fizzle out for most of us, but I'll let you know when you can hang that umbrella up for good coming up.
You're watching WUFT-TV News.
As I'm sure you're all aware, it's been lightning and thundering nonstop today.
Oh, it has. Aiden, tell us a little bit more about what we can expect to see for the rest of the evening.
Showers and thunderstorms are starting to fizzle out, but they should stick around for just a little bit longer. Taking a look at the radar here, you can see the storms finally losing some of that stronger energy they had a little bit earlier, the lightning strike counter, dipping by about 200. So again, storms losing a little bit of energy, but still packing some of those heavy rain and lightning. You can see some of these moving through Clay County right now and parts of Putnam County as well, getting some rain too. But again, those should be moving a little bit more to the east over the next couple of hours. Overhead on campus, you can see those thunderstorm clouds moving out just a little bit, cooling off to 75 degrees, so trading some of those nicer temperatures for maybe an umbrella because of that rain. Winds lightening up just a little bit too, so overall conditions starting to calm down a little bit. A lot of strong storms across the country right now, actually. You can see in Virginia, West Virginia, severe thunderstorm watch and some thunderstorm warnings as well, and some in Louisiana. Texas still getting a lot of rain, and a lot of us are getting rain because of this high pressure, at least those of us around the Gulf. The high pressure carrying air in many different directions, actually in a clockwise direction. So some of that flowing into Texas, a lot of moisture, areas that already got some of those flooding rains, unfortunately getting some more. And for us here in Florida, you can see again clockwise motions, so bringing some of that Gulf moisture, making some of those showers and thunderstorms just a little bit more likely. One area that's received a lot of rain over the past day alone is Levy County, over 3 inches in parts of Cedar Key, over an inch and a half in Chiefland. So those rain rates in Levy County, pretty high. Flooding definitely a risk, something to keep an eye on there. Temperatures for north central Florida, 77 in Gainesville at the airport, so we've cooled off just a little bit, actually quite a lot since earlier, but staying hot in some areas that aren't getting as many of those thunderstorms and as much as that cloud cover. Ocala at 86 degrees, feel-like temperatures, 81 in Gainesville, staying pretty hot in some areas. Perry out in Taylor County, 97 degrees, so temperatures pretty variable across most of north central Florida. Those showers should clear out for the rest of the evening around the midnight hour before we get another round tomorrow. Now the model here, a little bit, might need to catch up with the atmosphere a little bit, saying no rain, but just a good idea to keep an umbrella just in case. Rain definitely possible tomorrow. Maybe some showers popping up along 95 Thursday evening before we get to Friday. And again, just another round of storms. Typical summer patterns with those storms popping up in the afternoon. 7-day forecast looking pretty rainy for the rest of the week all the way into the weekend. I'll have one final look at the weather coming up.
Walter Clayton Jr. may not play college basketball anymore, but he's not done making history for the Orange and Blue. The national champion added one more mark to his resume earlier today. Find out what the Gator Great accomplished right after the break.
You're watching WUFT-TV News.
Welcome to sports. I'm Hannah Mack. Walter Clayton Jr. has made history yet again.
He is the first Florida men's basketball player to be named SEC Male Athlete of the Year. Clayton Jr. is the 17th Gator to be named an SEC Athlete of the Year and the third straight for Gator Nation. The Gator boys stayed hot all of last season, averaging over 18 points a game. He also broke Florida's single-season scoring record with 713 points. Florida leads the SEC all-time with 8 male and 9 female Athlete of the Year honors. It's no secret that Walt was a winner at Florida. The Sunshine State native not only led the Gators to a national championship, but was named the Final Four Most Outstanding Player. He also earned first-team All-America honors, becoming the first Florida men's basketball player to do so. Clayton Jr. joins elite company of 17 other Gators to win SEC Athlete of the Year. The most recent winners include Parker Volby, Trinity Thomas, Grant Holloway, Caleb Dressel, and Bridget Sloan, among many more. Clayton has many pages in the Gator history books and now looks to start a new chapter with the Utah Jazz. 52 days until Florida football begins their gauntlet of a season, but you only have to wait 1 week until SEC Media Day. This year's Media Day will showcase quarterback DJ Lagway, defensive lineman Caleb Banks, and offensive lineman Jake Slaughter. Florida's slot is set from Wednesday from 1 to 4:45 p.m. One of the biggest offseason questions is regarding Lagway's health. That will likely be asked and answered next week, and we'll have live coverage of Media Day right here on WUFT Sports. Florida volleyball may be navigating a new coach this year, but Jayla August looks to pick up right where she left off. The 2024 SEC Freshman of the Year has earned a spot on the 2025 preseason All-SEC team. August is only one of 3 middle blockers named to the 15-person squad. The hard hitter started in 29 of Florida's 31 matches last season and totaled 210 kills. The Gators' first serve of the year will be in Lincoln, Nebraska against Stanford on August 22nd. Finally, Florida baseball pitcher Liam Peterson is competing in the 45th USA vs. Japan Collegiate All-Star Series. The right-handed ace pitched 1 inning in Game 1 and gave up 2 hits but no runs. Japan leads the 5-game series 2-0 with the next matchup on Friday. That's it for sports, but Aiden will let us know when we can expect the rain to end right after the break.
Some showers and storms sticking around for those of us in Alachua County and Bradford County, but for the rest of us, those should clear out, and for all of us, those will be cleared out in the next 2 to 3 hours, should all be gone by at latest midnight. Looking ahead to the 7-day, looking pretty rainy and pretty hot, pretty typical for this time of year.
Thanks for joining us, Aiden. We're back here tomorrow for another edition of First at 5.
But your North Central Florida news is always on at WUFT.org and on all our social media platforms. Have a good night.